Jeffrey, I notice you've added these two pieces. What are they about?
I had made these two pieces during workshops that were run for building the massive feather structures that we're looking at, part of here that are assembled for this piece to contain 1.5 million tabs. And these two pieces were made after September 11th, and they were made with people who were directly affected by September 11th. In this case, this piece with the red, silver, and blue tabs was made at Marymount in Tarrytown, New York. It was approximately 6 weeks after September 11th, and a workshop had been scheduled there. And one of the students who was present, who worked with me with a group of, I think, about 130 or 140 students, was sadly someone who had lost her dad. And she approached me after the workshop began, and I knew nothing about this young lady's history with September 11th. She approached me and was very taken by the project and wanted, with a group of people with her, to try and do something relevant to her loss. So we collected some red and blue tabs, and they went around the whole room, and everyone in that room contributed to building this single feather as this young lady was in the process of grieving with her family. This piece was similarly done in a workshop shortly after September 11th in Maryland at a synagogue that had booked my program before the attacks on September 11th. But I learned that members of the synagogue community, a family there, had lost their son, Darren Pontel, who was a young man who turned out to be a cousin in my own family. And after the Wings of Witness workshop, where we constructed these other feathers, the family and I met, and we made several smaller feathers, and Darren's mom and his wife worked with me to build this one feather, and his wife pulled out this Annapolis pin that had been Darren's and asked if she could add it onto the feather. Because this piece is called Unfinished Flight, and the title is a reference to lives cut short by the tragedy of genocide, is specifically related to the Holocaust, but in this case these two pieces also reflect the title, Unfinished Flight.
Well, there's a poignancy to the involvement in this whole mass, to see this one little gold piece stand out, and that one curved feather with the red, white, and blue. I think it's powerful.
Well, I was hoping to be able to find a way to incorporate these pieces, because taking on a project like Wings of Witness, where I'm working with a collection of more than 11 million soda can tabs that are intended to numerically recognize the number of losses in the Holocaust, on my part, it required a certain kind of a commitment that I was going to find a way to see this through and bring it to some sort of completion, which is what we're looking at here. But my timing for it was this year related to the coming commemoration in mid-April of the uprising of the Warsaw Ghetto, where it was the instance in the Holocaust where Jews who were in the ghetto, who were trying to survive at the time that the ghetto was being liquidated, decided to band together and find a way to finally fight back. And most of them lost their lives in doing so. So the project has previously been spread on the ground, massive, much more massive than this, and now for this time of year I elected to raise it up as an uprising itself and create these wings with approximately 1.5 million tabs. The number of tabs represent the children that had their lives cut short as a result of the Holocaust, represents them numerically. There's no way that a tab can actually represent a lost life.